We're getting there. Of August, the year is 2016. We're on board David Shepherd's Prestige engine Avril 3052 class 15F, and we're going to be taking a light locomotive through to Pretoria to French the Rail Depot after a tenure here at Reefsteamers, who kindly restored for the Sandstone Trust, and now we are going to be relocating it. But it's a long journey and the locomotive needs fuel, so do the men on board. So we're going to now cook ourselves a nice meal of typical South African boerewors. Okay, so to get prepared, we've got to chuck a bit of water, not chuck, but just open the tap a little bit, get some good drinking water on here to lubricate the shovel, and then we're going to put on our Neville's boerewors, the finest from Pretoria, especially brought across to Germiston, delicately placed on the shovel, as you can see in the typical boerie coil position. And then we're now going to insert it into the ready-made kitchen on board at 15F. Now you'll notice the 15F is slightly different to normal locomotives. You've got the mechanical stoker shaft here, which crushes the coal into fine pieces and blows it in. So we don't want to end up with a crunchy boerewors, so we do not at any stage open the mechanical stoker now for whatever reason to test it until we've sufficient food in our stomachs. Besides the shovel braai, which is traditional on most steam locomotives, there are other areas on a steam engine which, besides burning the hell out of one's hands and giving you railway tattoos, actually can cook a meal. Here are the lubricator pipe feet on the top of the boiler. Wrap your wors in some foil or cotton waste, place it on there, and it'll gently simmer away without having to turn it whatsoever. An alternate to that is also on top of the ejector that you can see over here. Very nice. Again, wrap it in foil. If you don't have foil, cheaply wrap it in a good quality cotton waste. It will simmer there. You'll have to pick it out your teeth with a toothpick or floss thereafter, it doesn't matter. But you can also do eggs on here as well, which is fantastic. So you've got wors on the shovel, eggs on the injector, and a full belly, and you're ready for the road. It's best to grab the boerewors with the hand, and you can therefore adjust it, and you can actually feel the tension building up in it as it gains heat, ready to explode. But you must always remove your hand before the explosion period, because you can be spattered with a lot of juices which could become unpleasant, although they do say it's finger licking good, and it's very good.
And how do you know when it's cooked?
Tell me, sir.
It goes stiff.
Does it? Oh right, okay, that is the proof of the pudding. Footplate, it's not just about cooking, it's about the science of cooking. Cooking on the footplate can actually be very erotic at times if you look at it in various ways, depending on the meal that you do cook. But let's not go that route, because we're on a dirty engine and it's a dirty Sunday, but that's it.
And this is a family show.
Family show. For those of you that don't quite know, when does one know that this meal is actually ready? Well, there's a number of gauges here that are related to actually the firebox temperature. And if you're doing, say for example, steak, you'll be using this gauge. If you're doing boerewors, it's kind of this one here, and this is just for a mixed grill. And you can actually adjust the temperature of the oven via these various controls here. Today we just laid back and we had rest, but if you're in a hurry and you want to have a super fast meal, we've got all the various controls that do adjust, like your oven at home. You've got medium, high, low, and whatever. The main pressure up the top is if we are doing like a roast chicken and you want it at the correct temperatures, we use the big gauge over there. It depends how many people you want to feed on the footplate. But basically, that's what most of these gauges are for, is for the actual cooking on the footplate. Besides this wors, which can be quite boring to eat on its own, we've got to add a little bit of something else. And to give it a bit of a better ring, we've sliced up some pretty good onions from our local kitchen here at Germiston. We've just dug them up out the soil. And we're going to add them to our dish in a few moments. So it's not just stand and shovel, it's slice and dice. Footplate, right, time to drink some coffee. Wonderful, wonderful time. Most locomotives, you always wonder, what is this little hook up top here for on the whistle cord? Well, straightforward and simple. Where else are you going to hang your mug when you want to have something to drink? So we'll show you how it's done on the footplate here with our driver there. And in here is the genuine billy can, which you could drink from the lid here if you really had uninvited guests, but we really want to just give him straight out the billy can. So driver always gets first, and you must ensure that there are no gritty things inside there, otherwise he has his stomach working and he has to leave the footplate to go and have a bowel movement. Talking of bowel movements, where would you go and do it on a moving locomotive? I know just the place. Nothing better than a mechanical stoker 15F. Why, sir? Simply drop it in the chute there, open the mechanical stoker crawls, and off it goes. Nothing burns better than good dung.
Or the shovel.
Oh, you can do it on the shovel too. Rinse it properly after use. Just a second, Lynn. Time now to add in the bit of the special onions, Spanish onions. Being a foreign locomotive. Ole, por favor, fire. You'll notice now it's actually getting to the point where it's getting close to eating. You've got that nice lightly brown texture on the circumference of the boerewors. The onions are now going to seep in and give it that little bit of a tang, just to make it an interesting meal. Senor Manuel, por favor, shovel fire. It's the onions, it's the Spanish onions, it just does it all the time. Google Translate, Manuel, please put the shovel in with the onions. We're not just going to eat it like common plebs, just with our hands and that stuff. We actually bought a selection of bread rolls with raisins in, just to keep the digestive system going later on in the journey, because we tend to sit quite a lot on mechanical stoker engine. So I'm going to make a delicate incision here, having watched a lot of movies on DSTV, and then we're going to lay the boerewors in sections, and then we will cross it. It's nicely cut and dissected. Perfect. Can lie nicely inside there. Each section of boerewors when we are ready. Are you ready? Cut. Okay. Can you smell this wonderful dish prepared on the footplate, on a shovel? Say no more. Would you like some?
Bon appetit.
Bon appetit for the day's journey. You have a nice cup of coffee to start, to go down with the boerewors, wash it all down, get ready for the day's work that lies ahead. This was on the 28th of August, year 2016. We'll look at this in a couple of years' time and think back on these wonderful memories on this historic day, which you are about to witness now in front of you on your screens. Thank you for being with us.